There's always this pause. Should I clap for him? Art, I am so impressed on how you have indeed taken up the gauntlet and have given speech after speech. And what impresses me very much is how different each of the speeches have been. This was a speech number 9, Persuade with Power. The objective is to persuade the audience of a point of view using both logic and emotion. And I thought you did that so effectively. Your opening was absolutely grabbing. You had good voice, you had the gesture, and then I really enjoyed taking us into your internal monologue where you're yelling in your mind at the other drivers and standing in line going, "Are the freaking cookie ready?" Because that's something that we all do. So that really connected with me because that chatter goes on in my head all the time. And if you're anything like Art and I, it probably goes on in yours too. So that was very effective. With each speech project, we build on everything that came before, and I saw all of the elements of the previous projects in there. There was organization, you had a clear opening, you had 3 main points, and then a conclusion. There was a clear point to it. You used voice, you used body gestures. I loved the writing, you used triads, particularly effectively in talking about the things we could control, our feelings, our thoughts, and our actions, and the things we can't control, people, places, and things. Again, the parallel triads was just a wonderful structure. That's from the how to say it. Organization, you listed the 3 points, you went through the 3 points, and then you summarized. The images were particularly vivid. I thought the metaphor of the light that was always there, but we couldn't see until we put on the night vision goggles. You know, what a fabulous image, and emphasize the point. Now, I have 3 primary suggestions for the speech. The first had to do with the energy. After such a grabbing opening, the energy felt like it went down a little bit. It picked up toward the middle, but there was a bit of a lull. So I would encourage you to, again, you have the lows, but I think it went a little bit too low. The second is I think you could have pulled on something called the Serenity Prayer. I think everybody knows what the Serenity Prayer is. I think that would have been appropriate. And I think what would be particularly effective would be to bring us back to the beginning. In other words, take the points that you've described and take us back to the driving. Okay, what can we control? We can't control that lousy driver, but we can control what we're thinking about him. We can't control whether this guy buys the cookie or not, but we can control what we're thinking about as we stand in place there and become more serene ourselves. So again, your dramatic pauses were particularly effective. Your voice, and there was one thing that I would note, you had prayer hands at one point, but you were being in the guise of a pastor. So that was very appropriate. That's the one time I think we're allowed to have prayer hands. So that is wonderful, and I am looking so forward to your number 10 speech. And